Hello, my name is Dan Peltz, CEO of Shift New Jersey. Also joining me is Melissa Kuntz, Chief Operating Officer.
Hello.
We have prepared a two-part training and presentation on the Division of Developmental Disabilities, or DDD, and support coordination. We feel that the more individuals and families know about the DDD system, the better we can work together to find the best services and options to help individuals to reach their goals. The first part is for individuals and families that are not currently enrolled with DDD and need basic information on DDD and how to become eligible. The second part will get into details on all services, budgets, and nuances of the system. We'll first start with a brief and quick introduction into the Division of Developmental Disabilities, or DDD. In the most basic terms, this is a state organization under the Department of Human Services that provides services to individuals with developmental disabilities that are over the age of 21. The basic requirements for eligibility for services is to have a developmental disability and be over the age of 21, although there are more steps to enrollment which we're going to go over now.
To get DDD services, you first must get Medicaid, which can be done in two ways. First, you can apply for SSI benefits through the Social Security Administration. These benefits automatically come with Medicaid and also a monthly check. The other option is to apply at the Board of Social Services for the New Jersey Care Special Medicaid Program. Both of these options require documentation of disability, but obtaining Social Security can be a longer process and typically requires the assistance of a lawyer. Each of the options has unique limits on income and total resources. This process is usually started when an individual turns 18. We won't go into greater specifics on the Medicaid process in this presentation, including several unique situations that can change the way you apply for Medicaid, because that could be an hour-long presentation in itself, so we will have to move on. The next step in the process is to reach out to your local county DDD office and submit their application to the DDD intake team. This application is about 24 pages long and is fairly straightforward and repetitive, and only one form needs to be completed by a doctor.
Once you have Medicaid and have completed the DDD application, you will get a letter confirming your eligibility for services. At this stage, you should take a survey called the New Jersey Comprehensive Assessment Tool, or NJCAT for short. This assessment is taken on the computer or over the phone, with most people choosing to complete it on the computer. This assessment is very important and will determine the annual budget for the individual. It will ask basic questions like if the individual can walk without assistance, pick up items from a table, and the level of assistance they need to eat, drink, bathe, handle money, make decisions, and so on. It is important to note that this survey should be filled out by imagining the individual on their worst day, if no supporters or family members were around at all. For example, if an individual needs prompting to complete a task or can only perform the task inconsistently, you should not indicate that they are independent with the task, even if sometimes they complete it independently. Filling out the survey in this manner will ensure that on those bad days, the individual will have enough funds for the support that they need. Again, this survey is the only thing that determines the budget. DDD will read the documentation of disability and all reports that you submit in order to determine eligibility, but will not count this in determining the budget. Once the survey is completed, it will determine a tier for the individual. Each tier is associated with a particular annual budget that does not change from year to year.
The last step in the process is to pick a support coordination agency, which will act as a case manager for your services, supports, and as a source of information on DDD and its policies. A question families often have is how to choose an agency, as there are currently over 180 to choose from. It is important to note that all agencies can offer the same services and supports, and your budget will remain the same regardless of the agency you work with, and you can also switch agencies at any time. Keeping this in mind, here are some key questions and distinctions. Who will explain things clearly? Who is reliable and will keep their promises? Who will perform their work in a timely manner? What is their reputation, which you can gather by asking other families and service providers? How long have they been in existence and what is their experience? The next thing you should ask is if they are released to approve their own plans. Some agencies do have to send their plans to DDD directly for approval, while others do not. If an agency can approve their own plans, this means that changes and requests can be done quickly and indicates that DDD feels that they are a trustworthy organization that will produce quality work. Lastly, you should ask the organization if they have open spots. Each agency has a caseload capacity, and if you select an agency that does not have any open spots available, you will be automatically assigned to another agency when you submit the selection form. Again, the role of the Support Coordination Agency is to be a case manager or to act as a liaison between DDD, service providers, and individuals and families. The goal is for the agency to help the individual and families self-direct their services or choose their service providers and how these services will be delivered. Since the DDD system is complicated and has many policies and procedures, true self-direction can only occur through a support coordination agency. Other than helping individuals and families navigate DDD policies and procedures, the main responsibilities of the Support Coordination Agency are to write and revise the state plan in collaboration with the individual and their support system, and enter in the services that will be delivered, and to monitor the individual on at least a monthly basis to ensure health and safety, that the services are being delivered in accordance with the service plan, and that there are no changes that require a revision of the plan. Support coordination agencies also reach out to DDD in certain situations, such as the occurrence of an unusual incident, housing issues, requests for a service that is not payable through Medicaid directly, or with questions on policies or procedures.
Other than completing the steps to gain eligibility for DDD services, it is strongly advised to explore services prior to entering the system. There's a full list of service providers at the iRecord provider website shown below. This website can sometimes be difficult to navigate, but is a great starting point. You should also attend vendor fairs, which occur in most counties each year, where you will have the opportunity to meet with service providers all in one place. Once you identify the providers of the services you are looking for, it will be important to tour the places of service and fill out the intake paperwork. Some providers, especially day programs, can have waiting lists. Each provider has their own intake process, and providers can refuse service if they do not have open spots or are unable to meet the support needs of the individual. This concludes our basic introduction into DDD services. Please feel free to reach out with questions, and please watch our follow-up videos for the specifics of the DDD system and for an introduction to Shift New Jersey. Thank you for watching.